This weekend has been a really rough weekend for me. So my dad died on January 1st, and my dad and I, we were super, super close. So it's been a really tough grieving process for me. And out of my siblings and I, which I have a younger brother and older sister, my dad and I were the closest. And I feel like both my parents, especially my dad, they really depend on me. They depend on me for guidance. They depend on me to drop everything, run for them, to do everything for me. So they're heavily dependent on me. But, anyways, my dad passed away on January 1, and I've been navigating this whole grieving process, which, if any of you have gone through grief, you know how extremely difficult and challenging and hard it is, and how some days you think you're going to be okay, and then the next day or even the next moment, you get hit with just a huge wave of grief and sadness, and it reminds you that your loved one is gone and that your life will be forever changed from that. So now we're basically at the end of March, and my grandmother passed away, which is my dad's mom. She passed away a few weeks ago, and this past weekend was her funeral. And I'm still working through a lot of regrets and a lot of things that I wish I had done differently with my dad. I've beat myself up a lot for a lot of different things and decisions that I made when he was alive. Things that I wish I could change or turn back, and I wish I knew what I knew now, what I know now, so I could have done things differently then. But that's what hindsight does. That's what pain does. It makes you think that if you would have just done this, then maybe, just maybe, the outcome would have been different. Um, but it wouldn't have. So my grandmother's funeral was this weekend, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it because also last week my husband was working. He got hit by a car, so he's been thankfully he's alive and he's not paralyzed and he's able to walk and he's able to move and he's talking. But obviously, when you get hit by a car, your body takes a pretty bad hit. So he has a lot of broken bones. He's trying to heal and recover from that, and obviously, he can't travel, especially not from Georgia to Miami. It's really far. It's a really far travel, um, and he's just in so much pain that there's no way we could have made it. So unfortunately, we didn't go. Uh, I was already feeling some kind of way about that, some heavy sadness. Because now I feel like, oh wow, this is another way I felt my dad. Like I wasn't able to go and represent my dad at his mother's funeral, and my dad and my mom were like this, like they were so extremely close. So it really hit me really hard. It was really hard to process and to work through this weekend. And then I think I was holding it together because I was for sure that my sister and brother and their family was going to go to Miami, but instead they financially couldn't afford it, so they ended up going on a couples weekend to Tennessee instead of Miami. Which for me, I'm like, okay, that makes no sense to me. So you can't afford to go to Miami and at least represent a piece of dad at his mother's funeral, but you can financially afford going to a different state that's up north, and taking a trip and a vacation. So it really bothered me. I was really upset about it. Um, and instead of talking to my sister or my brother, and my relationship with my brother is not that great anyways, but me and my sister are pretty close. And instead of talking to them, I talked to my mom about it. So then my mom calls my sister, and she kind of tells her, "Oh, your sister's in a bad mood because nobody went to Miami um, to your grandmother's funeral." And my mom, I love her to death, but she loves the gossip. She loves to stir things, and she loves to twist feelings and stories and twist things. So it never comes out right. So then of course my sister hears this, and my sister, she's a feisty one. She'll cuss you out from here to hell in 2.2 seconds. But so I didn't talk to my sister or anything, but I heard my mom saying that, and I knew my sister was going to take that and run with it and react in negative ways. So I avoided kind of talking to her. But then the next day, Um, I think grief really hits me hard on certain accounts and certain situations. For some reason, at night before I'm going to bed, the grief of losing my dad hits me really hard. And then in the mornings when I take showers, for some reason, the grief hits me really hard. So I was taking a shower and I just kept thinking about my dad, and I just started crying like uncontrollably, to the point that my kids heard me. They were in the room playing next door, and my kids heard me, and it like freaked them out. So they like come running in the bathroom to make sure I'm okay. And they go and get my husband. He comes and he tries to like, be there for me and help me process it and work through it. And then like obviously my mom, now my mom lives with me, so she's hearing it too. So I guess she calls my sister again and tells her what's going on, and my sister texts me, and she just tries to, basically just say, life happens, like we couldn't make it, it's okay. um but is it okay? To me, I think I have a very different way of processing and thinking about things in my family. I think the fact that I don't even want to say that I'm educated has made me have a different outlook in life, but from the way I was raised to who I am today are vastly different. I was raised in poverty. Um, my mom finished high school, my dad finished high school, but I'm the only one in my family that's gone to college. Um, I think very differently than my family. I feel like my family, including my brother and sister, they have a very poverty mindset still. And although I do struggle a lot still with financial insecurities, I have done things a lot different for myself. I have a lot of security for me and my kids. We have a home that we feel pretty secure in. I'm able to pay my mortgage payments. I own my own home, or, the bank still owns it, but it is, in mine and my husband's name. Whereas, growing up, I probably lived we moved yearly, just because, we couldn't pay rent here. So we would go live with my grandma, save up, and then we'd go to another place. And then we couldn't, pay rent again. It's a whole process. And I think my sister, she still goes through that. My brother, he basically like couch surfs, lives at my sister's when she bounces to place to place. He'll go stay with her, or he'll try to sleep in his van or just do random stuff. Also, our work ethics are vastly different. I am a worker. I'm very driven with work. I'm very ambitious. I have a lot of goals for myself. I want to provide security for my family and for my kids. I never want them to understand the light of the struggle that my family, and I went through, that we saw growing up. So I view things a lot differently. My sister and brother are still in that mindset. And then top it off, my mom lives with us. So my mom's also secure in a way because she doesn't financially have to pay a single bill except for her own personal like car insurance and car payment. But she doesn't have to pay a single bill. I think my mom too, she's lived in our house. We moved from our very first home to a bigger home, when we had another child. And we've been in this new home for 5 years. I think that's the longest my mom's ever had, stayed in a place. At least I know growing up for sure. Like we stayed maybe a year, maybe two in a place max. Maybe that was like one place. So I know this is the most security my mom's had, home wise, as well. But I think my mindset is just so vastly different from theirs that sometimes I just take a step and look. Take a step back, and I just think like, wow. Like, first of all, I feel extremely blessed to be where I am today. I feel extremely blessed, to be able to say that my kids have stability, that I have stability in my life. I know my sister can't say that, um, but I just think like, why don't we all make different decisions in life? And I try to guide them, but they're not the type of people that you can guide. Like they don't want you to they don't want guidance at all. They don't want you to tell them anything. It's almost like they like being stuck in poverty and drama, and to me it doesn't make sense, because I'm like, don't you want to better yourself? Like, yes, I understand when I take a step back that I've had different opportunities that allotted me to get to where I am today. And I made different choices, and that led me to where I am today. But you have choices too. You don't have to continue to live this way. When somebody tries to talk to you, you don't have to get so defensive where you literally just have, you just like tear them up from left to right. Like, my sister, when I tell you, she will cuss you out. She will cuss you out. She doesn't play. She cussed my mom out like it's insane. Like I'm just like, how, I mean, I don't even understand how you talk like that, let alone to your mother. So so I do feel blessed that I'm in a different space than them. Um, and I do feel like my family thinks that I think that I'm better than them, and I don't. I don't think I'm better than anyone. I just think that I've made different choices and decisions that allot me different opportunities that have driven me to different outcomes than what they have. But I try to help my family. I try to give back as much as I can. Like I said, my mom lives with me. I'll pay my sister to do odd in jobs here and there so she can have money to do whatever she needs to do with it. But it's not even about being better than them. It's about just making different decisions that have allowed me to have a different life than them. And they don't quite understand that. Instead, they just talk. They just talk about you. So, I learned a long time ago too that people are going to talk about you. You're just going to have to you just have to live for yourself. You can't live for them. You can't make everyone happy. You can't make everyone see what you see. You can't make everyone understand the choices that you're making for your life. And maybe you don't need to. Maybe you shouldn't even try. You should just try to live for yourself and for your family and what your values are and what are important to you. But to circle back to the point of the story is grief's a bitch. It's so hard. And this weekend, I was really faced with a lot of grief and pain from losing my dad. And it felt like that reopened with not being able to attend my grandmother's funeral. And the fact that I felt like my siblings, they could have made different choices and they didn't, it really bothered me and it really upset me and it really hurt me. Instead of talking to them about it, I just chose not to because what's the point? They're not going to hear me. They're not going to agree with me. They're going to get extremely defensive about it. They'll probably talk shit behind my back because that's what they do. So instead of talking to them about it, I just wanted to come here and just kind of let it go. But I wanted to just tell my dad that I'm sorry, that I love you, that this was not a reflection of my lack of love for you. And I wish I could talk to you. I wish I could tell you how sorry I am and how much I miss you and how I wish you were here and how family's hard, and I wish I could get your guidance on how to navigate some of this pain and how to navigate some of this family stuff. And I just miss you. I just miss you so much, Dad. And if y'all are going through this, if you're just grieving someone you love, I want you to know it's not always going to be lollipops and rainbows. There are going to be a lot of moments that are hard and that are tough. But you're not alone. None of us are alone in this. Grief is a universal language. And when you love people and you lose them, that's grief is what you have left. And it's a testament to that love that you had and that you shared with that person. So don't forget you're not alone in this journey.